Welcome back. Let's turn our attention towards Uttar Pradesh, where things are beginning to pick pace. Parties are beginning to implement their strategies for the elections that take place next year. And we're going to specifically talk about this new strategy. It's not actually exactly new, but it is becoming more bold and being done at a larger scale now by the BSP. The BSP, the Bahujan Samaj Party, which actually came to prominence and multiple times came to power on the promise of being the voice of the underprivileged, of the lower caste, the backward caste. BSP, which was seen to be, the party, the voice for the backward caste, is now looking to reach out to the upper caste, is holding Brahman Sammelan in an extremely open and bold move to reach out to this segment in Uttar Pradesh and saying, we will hear you and we will stand for you. And so what Mayawati did today was actually, and she wanted to do this in Ayodhya, but we're told that permission was a problem for a large-scale gathering there, but they did end up holding this event in Faizabad city. It was earlier called the Brahman Sammelan. The BSP actually then formalized it and called it the Vichar Sangoshti. And so it was the thought seminar, but it was meant to reach out to the upper caste voters of Uttar Pradesh. And so why is it that BSP is actually going for a specific segment which is not its traditional vote bank? In the recent past, they may have seen some support coming in. So why is it that this time Mayawati is making bigger strides towards this specific vote bank? Let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us on this conversation. Mr. Sudhindra Bhadoria, spokesperson for the BSP, Anand Dubey of the BJP, and Mr. Sharad Pradhan, editor for the Free Press, joining me this evening. Mr. Sharad Pradhan, let's put this in perspective for our national audience as well. What's happening? What are the rumblings on ground in Uttar Pradesh that are pushing Mayawati to initiate these kind of campaigns?
Well, it's after 4.5 years that Mayawati has risen from her long slumber. Had she maintained this, the fact that in 2007, she succeeded on this formula of social engineering by bringing in Brahmins to join the Dalit party and projecting them as a bonhomie between these two ends of the wide spectrum, and bring them together and hoping that a section of the Muslims will also join. They succeeded in 2007. And it was not just this that brought them success. It was also a strong anti-Mulayam vote also that brought them to power. But this was highlighted and projected as the ultimate success story. Now, having in these 4.5 years that they've been they've been out of power for a longer time, but in these 4.5 years, ever since BJP has risen to power in UP with Yogi Adityanath at the helm, they never thought of, neither Mayawati nor Satish Mishra did nothing to even demonstrate that they had any concern for the Brahmin community. And today Satish Mishra talked about, indirectly he referred to the encounter in which this gangster Vikas Dubey was gunned down by the police, a very shoddily carried out encounter. But the fact is that if you are so concerned about Brahmins being targeted in this manner, he said 400 Brahmins have been gunned down in this BJP regime, then why was he sitting quiet? He's an eminent lawyer. He could have gone in for a PIL. He could have opposed that encounter. He could have gone to court. This obviously demonstrates that their concern has come only with the eye on the elections. And they are out to, and with the elections means a lot for the BSP. It is not just winning an election. There's a lot more to it. It's an open secret that in the BSP, tickets are sold very openly. And so it's a good opportune moment to make a lot of money. So, this is a good idea to project that we are once again going into the same mode that rose us to power. That was the only time that Mayawati became chief minister on her own steam, on her own party steam. Otherwise, the 3 other stints that she did as CM earlier was with the support of the BJP. So, and once again, it is being alleged that at the moment she is under too much, she has been under pressure of the BJP, with all kinds of EDs and the CBIs going after her and her brother for a couple of years. That sword has still been hanging over them because the cases are still pending. So for all you know, as the politics of the country goes like this these days, so it is possible that she was also trying in this manner to indirectly, it may sound a little weird, but she could also help the BJP through this modus operandi. How? I'll tell you very briefly. There is a common perception, there's a very popular perception at the moment that the present ruling dispensation in Uttar Pradesh, led by Yogi Adityanath, has been very, very pro-Thakur and quite, which is considered by Brahmins as anti-Brahmins. And there have been a number of actions which have given this impression, which have led people to believe this. So, now the BJP's concern can be very natural that if the Brahmins are in this kind of a mood, they may not continue to give the same support to the BJP, which they have been traditionally doing after the Congress went down in the dumps. So now, in order to divide that, if that vote goes, even Akhilesh has been doing a lot to woo Brahmins. How much of it will work is as much.
Okay.
Yeah. So this could, if the BJP is concerned that if the vote goes in a chunk to SP by default, so that needs to be divided. If it gets divided, then it helps the BJP. So this could also be one of the strategies. It is suspected.
Okay.
But in any case, it is not a move to win the election.
The waters, like you said, Mr. Pradhan, there is also.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Point taken. Multiple aspects there on why this would make sense to Mayawati to do so. But let me ask Mr. Bhadoria, are you confident that something that seemed to have worked for you in 2007 will work again for you in 2022?
Well, let me tell you that I have not been able to hear the debates. There's something wrong with either my phone or something is wrong in the transmission. So I have not been able to hear, but what I've been able to gather is that you're debating about today's Ayodhya's conference, where it seems that you're debating that the Bahujan Samaj Party is trying to woo the Brahmin vote. Let me say this, that whatever one may say, that the Bahujan Samaj Party is been there in the minds of the people for last 3 decades. People have written it off. People have also said that this does not stand a strong chance in earlier elections as well. But however, we have been continuing to fight, and in the last 30 years, she has become chief minister 4 times in spite of all the pundit predicting that BSP is being written off. Number one. Number two, as far as the votes in Uttar Pradesh elections are concerned, it is being fought in the background of the COVID. It is being fought in the background of the farmers' distress and the youth unemployment, as well as the law and order. On each count, I would like to start with the law and order situation. Behind Mayawati ji, whenever she became the chief minister, you can go to any village of Uttar Pradesh and you will know that people of Uttar Pradesh consider her as the best bet for the law and order. Number one. Number two, as far as the issue of unemployment is concerned, the development, the GDP rate in Uttar Pradesh when she was the chief minister was 9%. It was 4% when the Samajwadi Party was in power, when Mulayam Singh was the chief minister. And you know what is the situation today in Yogi ji's Raj. So therefore, in the issue as far as the economy is concerned, it was doing well. We gave the projects like the Agra Expressway. We gave dozens of universities. We gave dozens of hospitals to Uttar Pradesh.
Mr. Bhadoria, I understand all of those points that you're raising, and they are definitely valid issues. I'm just trying to understand why your approach and Mayawati's recent commentary specifically for the upper caste and the Brahmins. I want to understand, is it that the unemployment or the pandemic is only impacting the upper caste, and why are you then, not talking about the key issues, but specifically addressing upper caste here?
Well, you see, on that also, I would say that as far as the BJP is concerned, it came on a promise that it will do development for all. But we have seen that while in power, they have not done development and justice to all. And more particularly the Brahmin community, as everybody would recognize that in 2007, we had 46 MLAs elected. Dozens of them became ministers. Many dozens of them became chairmen of boards, and also they were accommodated. Eventually, in politics and in their game of power, it is power sharing. And Bahujan Samaj Party has accommodated all sections. Everybody feels that they have got their due share. As far as the other competitors are concerned, it is not the case. Whether it is BJP or some others who are also considering themselves to be in the fray. And let me tell you, on each count, particularly law and order, they have given governments which have given problems to particularly to the women, to Dalits, and to the poor. So therefore, in every count, and more particularly the Brahmins, have supported the Bahujan Samaj Party in 2007 in great numbers, and we do expect that we have taken the lead, we have taken the initiative, and we are going to give an umbrella to all sections of society in Uttar Pradesh, and the Brahmins will play a very important role in bringing BSP back to power in 2022.
Let me bring in Anand Dubey then on this. Anand Dubey, respond to the claims that the BSP is making.
देखिए, सबसे पहले मैं इस बात की शुरुआत करना चाहूंगा कि मायावती जी ने 4 दिन पहले क्या बयान दिया कि ब्राह्मण जो है बहक गया था। आप ये कह रहे हैं कि ब्राह्मण जो है वो विचार निर्धारण का काम करता है, समाज को दिशा देने का काम करता है, और बहन मायावती जी कहती है कि ब्राह्मण बहक गया है। तो उनका सीधा सीधा ये कहना जो है ब्राह्मणों का अपमान है कि ब्राह्मण बहक गया था। ब्राह्मण बहका नहीं था। अब हम इतिहास में जाते हैं, ये कौन मायावती है? ये वही मायावती है जिनकी पार्टी ने नारा लगाया था, तिलक तराजू और तलवार इनको मारो जूते चार। ये वही बहन मायावती हैं जो ब्राह्मणों को जो है जमीन पर बैठाती थी और खुद कुर्सी पर बैठती थी, ब्राह्मणों से पैर छुआती थी। ये वही बहन मायावती हैं जिनके समय में नारा लगा कि मिले मुलायम कांसी राम, हवा में उड़ गए जय श्री राम। ये उस श्री राम का अपमान करती हैं जिनका जो है ब्राह्मण समाज जो है वो पूजा करता है। और आज मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि अयोध्या में मायावती कभी नहीं गई, जय श्री राम का नाम अपने मुंह से उन्होंने कभी नहीं लिया, लेकिन आज जब ब्राह्मण सम्मेलन करने की बात हुई तो उन्होंने इसकी शुरुआत अयोध्या से की। इनके नेता अयोध्या में जाकर जो है भगवान श्री राम के मंदिर में जाकर दर्शन कर रहे हैं, वहां साधु सन्यासियों से मिल रहे हैं। तो कुल मिलाकर ब्राह्मण समाज जो है वो अच्छी तरह से जानता है कि मायावती जी सिर्फ और सिर्फ वोट लेने के लिए उनको हथियार के रूप में इस्तेमाल करना चाहती हैं। मायावती के ब्राह्मणों के प्रति कोई इज्जत नहीं है। यही मायावती और इनकी पार्टी है जो ब्राह्मणों को मनुवादी कह के गालियां देती थी। आप बताइए, अगर मायावती जी ब्राह्मणों की इतनी हितैषी थी तो सवर्ण आरक्षण कानून ये क्यों नहीं लेके आई? बताइए। दूसरी चीज, ये लोग न राम के हैं, न परशुराम के हैं, न किसी काम के हैं, और काट की हांडी बार बार नहीं चढ़ती है। उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता इनके जाति और जमात की राजनीति को देख चुकी है कि किस तरह से ये लोग जातियों को, जमात को धर्म के नाम पर, जाति के नाम पर राजनीति करते चले आए हैं। और उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने इनकी राजनीति को समझ लिया है और इसीलिए बार बार इनको ये सबक सिखा रही है। 2007 से 2012 जब बहन जी ने सरकार चलाई और 12 में जनता ने जो है बहन जी को उठाकर सिंहासन से फेंक दिया, उसके बाद से बहन जी लगातार चुनाव हार रही है और हर बार वो एक नया प्रयोग करती है। कभी अखिलेश जी से मिल जाती है, कभी किसी जाति का नाम लेती है, लेकिन जनता ने उनको ये समझा दिया है कि अब जाति और जमात की जो राजनीति है वो आपके काम नहीं आने वाली है। दूसरी चीज मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि मायावती जी कभी भी ब्राह्मणों की हितैषी नहीं रही है। उन्होंने सदैव से ब्राह्मणों का अपमान किया है। बहुजन समाज पार्टी के हर मंच से जो है वो ब्राह्मणों को गालियां तक दी गई है। इसलिए ब्राह्मण समाज इस बात को जानता है कि कौन उनका हितैषी है और कौन उनके लिए कार्य कर रहा है। दूसरी चीज, जहां तक बात रही भारतीय जनता पार्टी की, तो
मुझे भदौरिया जी से ये पूछने दीजिए, मिस्टर भदौरिया, हियर इज बीजेपी citing all of BSP and Mayawati's history, all of the campaigning, the sloganeering, the poll planks that you used from the 90s till now, to say how are you going to convince anybody in the upper caste or amongst Brahmins that you actually do care for them, since you have, according to the BJP, insulted them all along?
Well, as far as the Bahujan Samaj Party is concerned, people are going to test us from our past performance. They will test us from what we have delivered to other people. Have we shared power with the Brahmins or not? Have we shared power with the other sections of the OBCs, minorities and others? So on all these counts, the Bahujan Samaj Party has been giving equal and fair share to everybody. As far as the BJP is concerned, people know that this is a party of some selected few. Though they try and through certain sections, some important powerful lobbies, they try and mobilize opinion in their favor. But as far as the reality goes, the BJP is known all across India as representing two business houses and the interest of those two business houses. And they pursue an agenda. They pursue an agenda of those forces. And we have seen that the manner in which the economy has declined, but the strength and the resources of these two big houses have increased by leaps and bounds. And it is also that in the rural areas, there are some feudal forces which have gained the most in Uttar Pradesh. In this 4.5 years of power of Yogi Ji, these feudal forces have been ruling the roost. And it is everybody else who has been completely squeezed. And it is for this reason that people in Uttar Pradesh are looking for an alternative. And as far as BSP is concerned and Bain Mayawati ji is concerned, she is a time-tested leader. Everybody knows others who are in the fray other than Yogi ji.
Okay.
They have also governed Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Everybody knows the kind of law and order they have given. They also know the kind of security which was given to women during their Raj.
Well, I know you're saying the people are going to judge you and vote for you based on your past performance, but that performance was so long time ago, Mr. Bhadoria. And the fact is that if it really mattered, then it would have mattered in the last 2 rounds of elections as well. This time it's going to be very, very different. The landscape with a lot of social engineering taking place, not just by the BSP, but also the BJP. And Mr. Sharad Pradhan, do you see that that's going to be very interesting this time in the elections? The BJP has already started to reach out to, many of the backward castes, the scheduled tribes, and even with the announcements that were made in the new cabinet. So clearly, while both political parties are realigning their caste strategy, it's still going to be a lot of caste math.
No, caste map will always be there, and unfortunately, in our democracy, and particularly in states like Uttar Pradesh, the Hindi and other Hindi-speaking states, caste has always been a dominant factor during the elections. But in this case, it is too much of a wishful thinking on the part of BSP, which thinks that they can turn the vote around overnight. For 4.5 years, BSP never bothered to think about Brahmins, never talk about Brahmins, never talk about their plight. And suddenly when the elections, there are 7 months left for the elections, you start saying that we are the only ones who are your well-wishers and we will do this for you, and we are concerned about your neglect. We are concerned about your people being slaughtered, in the sense that if 400 Brahmins have been killed, according to Satish Mishra, then it is a slaughter. But why were you quiet all this while? And said, Brahmins are not fools. They are intelligent people. I am sure they are not ready to get duped by these kind of sloganeering and tall claims. It is, I don't think it's going to work. No matter, and maybe probably, what I said in the beginning, probably the intention is also not. It is not as if Mayawati doesn't know this. Satish Mishra doesn't know this. I'm sure that their goals are somewhere else. They are not in winning the election. They are in making hay while the sun shines. So that purpose will be served. But I don't think it is going to.
Okay, very interesting point that you make there, and we're going to leave it at that. Completely out of time. Thank you so much to all three panelists for joining me on this conversation on the interesting strategies that are now being used by various political parties. Will this gamble work for Mayawati? That remains to be seen. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.